Hi everyone. Welcome to live. I'll be there in just a moment. There we go. Just checking on a few things before I get the camera turned on. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on the camera. Oh, what's going on here? Some of it's gone away. Hang on. There we go. There we are. Well, you can see it's a new year and things are still happening in a weird way for me. But I want to welcome everyone to 2025 and Janome Live. It's going to be a great year this year. I'm so looking forward to sharing Artistic Digitizer with you. I'm also be doing some videos with the Artistic Edge Cutter. I'll be using my CM17, maybe the S9 that I have here as well. So you'll see me doing a lot of various different things. So welcome to 2025 and welcome to Janome Live. If you're out there, I do have my comments up and Marty's there. So welcome, Marty. If you want to give me a little thumbs up, that's fine. What I'm going to do today is I want to show you a couple things on the Facebook page. And then we're going to go into the software and I'm going to show you some ways to, as you're creating, how to stay organized with your designs and how to add notes and printing templates and some things like that. So I'm going to show you a few of those things when we start going into the software. And I actually have my PC up, so we're going to use that for Facebook. Plus, I'm going to show you the same options on the PC that we're going to do in the Mac. So we're going to go back and forth between the two, so I cover everyone, so everybody can feel comfortable with what they're doing within the software. So the first place we're going to go to is over to my computer and take a look at the Facebook page. Now, I did say, I think in the intro, that I'm going to try to attach the class notes to the comments. Now, I don't know if I can. I'm going to do that right after class so that they'll be in there for you to pick up there. If they're not there, you can go to the Janome Artitstic Digitizer Facebook page and they'll be over there. And they are called, if you search for them, they're going to be called hashtag Keep Organized Notes AD. So you can look for them there, or you can just ask and somebody can help you with that. All right, so let me go over to my PC and show you that. Now, you know, I'm filming my PC, so it's always a little interesting on that part. Hi, Danielle. Welcome, welcome. Let's see, what do we have for, oh, we have quite a few people on today. So what I wanted to show you first is, this is the page we're all on right now. And I wanted to show you how you can sign up for all the lives and so you don't miss any. And then you'll actually get a little reminder. And within the reminder is a link to back to the page. Because I know a lot of people were telling me there is another Janome page. It's not our page, but there's other Janome pages out there. So I didn't want people to get confused. The only day that might be confusing is the Friday one. We're supposed to have it over here on the Janome Sewing Machines page, but it is called Continental Club. So sometimes some of our educators just post it over there. But I think Janome brings it back on this side as well. And then I have another surprise to show you on the page as we scroll down. So I have my page open, and I'm going to scroll down a little bit. And I want you to look right along here, these words right along here, posts, about, channels, mentions, reels, photos, and more. Now, you may have more things, you may have less things depending on where you are, what you're watching from. Maybe if you're on a phone or if you're on you're looking on your iPad, it might be slightly different. But all these words are always up here. There might be less or there might be more. But under more, when you go under there, what you're looking for is the word events. So I'm going to click on events and I'm going to scroll up here. I went ahead and I put in all of our events, all the Tuesdays, all the Wednesdays, all the Thursdays, and all the Fridays, so you could sign up for them and get your notifications. Now, you can also sign up for every single one in the series. So if you go into, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some of these I've already done, but you only have to do it once. So let's say, let me see if it'll work with this one. This is today's live. So I'm just going to open it up. You want to open it up like that. And then under going, you want to check off all events in this series. then it will assign you up for every single one that's in the Thursday series. So you can see the dates are across the top here. And then see there's 49 of them. So you can see that they're all there. But when you get your notification, you should have something that looks like this. Click down here, not on visit the group. Let me go up a little bit. Visit the group will be that's the group page, which is the Janome Classroom page. So if you click here, it'll bring you back here. Or if you find your way here and you can't find the video, what you could do is go to events, and then you could click this again and it'll bring you to the page. See, it brought me right back to the page. And so I'm going to close this little message here. So we are down here somewhere in here is the video, but I don't need to show it while I'm talking with all of you. So hopefully everything's happening there. So that's one thing I wanted to show you. And so you can sign up for every single one by going to the Tuesday one and signing up for all of them, the Wednesday, the Thursday, and the Friday. It doesn't hurt to sign up for all of them and get the notices. They're generic, but it's because we don't have the titles and the topics this early on. We usually do them, by the month, but sometimes things change, and I didn't want to have to keep going in and making changes. So it was easier to put generic ones in there so you can sign up for them and not miss any of them at all. Now, the other thing I did is I'm going to come down here, back under more. I'm going to go to videos right here. Okay. Sometimes videos will be a light along this area here where I was showing you. Sometimes videos are right here, but sometimes they're in the more. I'm going to click on videos, and it's going to take me, as I scroll down, these are the latest videos that have happened, and you can scroll through them. Let me move my camera so you can see the side here. You can scroll through them here, going here, but we also have playlists down here. Today I went in and added in, I'm only up to August, so I have to keep going, my playlist. I've created one for me, and then we have one here for the S7 and some with our Janome educators. Some of these are old because we haven't always added people back into them. So I'm trying to either update the lists or make some new ones. I'm starting with me, and I'm going to work from there and get all of them in there. So if you need to find my videos, all you have to do is come back to our page here, the Janome Sewing Machines page, and then you can go to more. So we'll go back up so I can show you. You want to go to more, then videos, and then you just scroll down and you'll see the playlists, and you can find them this way. So I think that'll be a lot easier. If you wanted to search for anything, what you would do is there's a search box right here, okay? This says search Facebook. That means it searches all of Facebook. Don't search in there. What you can do is on this side, there's a search right here. Sometimes it's in a menu. If you're on your phone or iPad, it's in a menu. But you want to use this search, and it says search, and it says the name of the page you're searching in. So you could put a hashtag, you could put my name, you could put a topic, and it will open up all the things for that topic. So that's one way to search. I think sometimes people search over here and they get out into Facebook and there's millions of things and you get lost. And right here is the one when it says, I always tell people, the magnifying search box, and it searches the page. Same thing on Artitstic Digitizer. We have the same thing. All right. So hopefully that will help you. We are talking about being more organized. So I wanted to show you a couple of those things just to help you out and find your way. Because, we all don't know how to travel through Facebook. So sometimes that's a difficult thing. So I'm going to switch back here. Hi, Shirley. Happy New Year. All right. So if that's helpful, go ahead and give me some thumbs up on that part of it. And if there's something else within Facebook that you don't understand how to do or find, put it in the comments, and then I can add it in as I do my videos. I always like to add a little bit because I think knowledge is power. And so the more we learn, how to navigate Facebook, I think the easier it is for us and the better we understand it. So, be sure to oh, good. I'm getting some thumbs up. That was good. That was good. So let me know if there's more things within Facebook. It's, Facebook is sometimes a mystery, and sometimes it doesn't do like, I try to go live and sometimes it doesn't let me on, or, there's always some kind of technical issue some days. But I am looking forward to like smooth sailing for 2025. And can you believe it? 2025. I just have to say really quickly, and I'm not going to tear up. Hopefully I won't tear up. So yeah, I started the lives in May of 2020. And I did not know I'd still be here doing them. I love this. I love my Facebook community and connecting with all of you. And also when I'm out and about, I only do a few shows now and a few events, so I'm not out in the public as much for Janome because I do a lot of this. And but when I'm out there, I have met a lot of you. So thank you for coming by the booth or stopping in a dealer place or attending a dealer event. It's great to see you face to face. That long year we had of not a lot of face to face, it was really, when I started to be able to see people, it was really, really wonderful. I'm sure you all felt that way. So that's all in the past. We have bright days coming up ahead in 2025. So let's go into the software. I'm going to start over on my PC because what I want to show you is when I start working in the software, one of the things I do first is, I'll open my new page, and then after I open my new page and get working, I'll make a folder on my desktop, and then I can save my design into that folder. So I'm going to go and show you how to do that. And so I'm going to go to my PC first, and then I'll come back and do the same thing over here on my Mac, just to show. I know we have more PC owners, I think, than Mac, but I want to make sure. I always demo. It's easier for me to demo on the Mac because it's connected. I don't have to actually film it with my camera. But I think you guys will be able to see well enough. So I'm going to go over to my PC and get that started. So hang on one second. Let me switch over here. There we go. And I will minimize this and open up my software. All right. And so what I did is I'm in Junior right now, and I'm going to zoom back a little bit so you can see. I'm in Junior. There's less tools on this side. So juniors can do this as well. I went on the welcome page and I just did create new because I'm going to create something new. And I can create something in here. I think I'm going to use the lettering text, or I could come up here and I could insert a symbol from here and use one of these. So I could do this. Let me just take this one and I'll insert this over here. So I've started to work on this scene. This is going to be, let me close this. This is my vacation scene. Maybe I'm going to add some other things to it. Maybe I'll add lettering to it. Maybe I have a couple other designs that I want to bring in here. But before I get going too far, I want to make a folder on my desktop. So I'm going to minimize this. And then to make a folder on my desktop, I just right click anywhere on my desktop, and you can see I'm right up here. Let me get my little pointer. See if I can do the left, right. There we are. And I'm going to right click, and right here it says new, and then it says folder. And then here's my new folder, and I can name it. I think I'm going to name it January 2025. All right, so there we go, and enter to keep that one. There we go. So now I have my folder, and as I work today, I can save designs into there. I can make more folders inside there, and then when I'm done, I can put everything, I could take the folder from here and put it in my embroidery folder, which would be over here in my File Explorer right here. And I'm at my folder, so I'm going to click that open. So here's my list of topics folders in here, and I have one that says my embroidery design, so I would click there, and I could bring it in here and save it amongst these folders. Or I could create a new folder in here to keep all my stuff that I'm working on. I do have some, let me show you some of these. I do have some by embroidery category, some by company. So I might take my work from today, and maybe I have one that says holiday. I don't think I do. Oh, I do. So I could put it under holiday because it's a holiday design that I was working on. But I do like to keep it all on my desktop first before I put it into my File Explorer. I can find it really easy here. So for me, that makes it real simple. All right, so I'm just going to close this. We do have our folder up there now. So if I wanted to save this into that folder, what I would do is I could come up here to File, and I would go to Save As, or I could have used the Save tab that's right here as well. But a lot of us are used to going to File, and I'm going to do Save As. Now I'm saving it to my computer. I'm not saving it to a USB stick to take it to my machine. I export when I do that. So here's my desktop. I'm going to click on my desktop, and then here's my January 25 folder. I'm going to open it. Now if I put an 01 at the beginning of that folder, it would be at the top of my list. And down here I could put vacation. And I might make it vacation 1 because as I'm working, I will make changes to it as I go along, and I may save it as vacation 1, work a little bit, and then I'll save it as vacation 2. So I have my original, and maybe the next one is vacation 2, so I can always go back to my original design. Does that make sense to everyone? Little thumbs up if that's, and if am I going too fast? Is everybody catching that okay? All right, so that's how you would make a folder in a PC and how you would save to your folder. Now I did mention, while I'm over here, I'm going to cover this, and it's the same on the on your Mac as well. When I'm done with this, I will save it for the last time. On File, Save As, and then maybe I'll call it Final. And then if I want to save it as a GIF at that point, so let's say I'm done with this one, I'm going to save it again. I'm going to do Save As. There we go. And I'm going to call this one Final. And you can see my first one, it's hard to see, this is a draw file. Maybe I could make this bigger. I don't know. Well, some of it gets bigger. This is a draw file. My final one is going to be a draw file as well. That's because if I have to go back after stitching it, I can make changes. Now, if I just want to, if I want to save it right now as a GIF, I would go back the same way, Save As, and down here, let me move my camera back so you can see, right down in here, I would change the drop down and select GIF. Okay. And then Final Vacation GIF and Save. So I would have 3 designs in there right now. One of them is an embroidery file, and the other 2 are my draw files. Then, when I want to send it to my machine, I would come up here to my CM17, and I would pick how I wanted to send it to my machine. Now, I don't know if my machine's connected. It might be. So I would go to the wireless, and my S9 is connected. So hang on one second. Let me change this to, this is good to know. I can change right here to my S9. So I'm going to go down here to my S9, and then we'll try in this hoop. It won't fit in this hoop, but that's okay. I'm going to just make it fit for our purposes today. There we go. If I want to center it, same place, drop down, center to hoop. Now I can go here and I could do wirelessly to my S9, and it's going to go to the built-ins right now because of the screen I have open on there. And I would just double click and it opens up my EMB folder. I don't need my EMBF. I can set it right out here where these other designs are, and I can send it there just like that. And then in my machine, I would pull it up in my machine. Now I might want to use a USB. I could do the same thing. I could go to the USB storage. I don't have a USB in my machine at the moment, or a cable connection. I could be cable connected, and I'll get that same window, very similar window that I got here, that will say drive for your USB. So you'd have to pick your drive, and then you can pick where you're putting it. Typically it opens the EMB, and you don't need to put it in the EMBF. The only thing you have to remember about that is if you don't put it in the EMBF, when you go to your machine and you go to open your folder, don't select EMBF because it won't be there. You didn't put it in there. Amazing, right? So use the process that works best for you. I've gotten away from going into the EMBF because we don't need it. We don't, several of our machines we don't need it for anymore. And especially the CM17, it shows you the designs right out front and right in the front. So I'm going to go back over here to the computer, my video here, and then now I'm going to show you in the Mac. All right. Let me think one more thing before we do that. We'll go back over there in a minute. I want to go to the Mac for just a little bit. So I'm going to go over here and open my software. Go. Oh, let's see if I have my software open. There we go. And all right. So let me go back here to, here I could go to create new. There would be my workspace. Now, if I wanted to make something on my desktop, a folder, in your Mac, you have the Finder. So you can open your Finder. You can go to your desktop right here, very much like your File Explorer, okay? And I would go to my desktop. These are my desktop folders. And I can right-click here, same thing as on the PC, select New Folder, and I can call this January 2025. So now I have my folder right here in my Mac. And if I wanted to, I have an embroidery folder. I could, when I finish, I could put everything into my embroidery folder. I basically do most of my designing over on my PC. So if I was working over here, I would actually save the file to my USB and take it to my PC and put it with my other embroideries over there. I try to keep everything in one spot because I use two computers now. I could use a Dropbox or a cloud account. But for me right now, it's easier just to keep it all on the other computer. That just makes things a little simpler on my end of things. All right, so we've made our folder here, so we're good to go on that part. And we are in the full program, so you can see there's more tools over here than we have on the other one. And I could go up to tools and I could bring in a symbol or something from the clip art library. So we'll just bring in something from the clip art library. Let's bring that up. Maybe, let's see, insert clip art, there we go. And I'm gonna pick this dinosaur right here, just because, and put him right there. There we go. All right, so that might be the one I'm working with today. So the other part of this is as I'm working, now that I've got my folder and I'm making changes, and before as I go along and before I do any of my saving as a GEF, okay, or my finalizing, I like to go up to File. Now on my Mac, you can't see it. It's the same place on the PC, File, Design Properties right here. And I'm going to open up Design Properties. In here, I can put in my name as the designer, or I could call this, Dynamite. I'm sure that's not how you do it, but Dynamite. There's keywords I can put in here. And in here, I can make remarks. Maybe I would say, maybe I have a special color, use color number, 525. I could put in there who it's going to. It's for Caden. Maybe there's some design things I did with it. Maybe I added letters, or maybe there's something I need to remember to do, or all in there. You can put all your notes in here. So I want to resize it for a jacket, just so I remember the things that I want to do with it. And so I can save all those. I'm going to come down here and say okay. The other thing before I say okay, Optimizer is right here. So if you need to make any changes for this particular design, you can open the Optimizer here and make any changes, and it will save it to that design. So you don't have to go to the Optimizer that's up under View. I think that's where it is, or Tools. It's under Tools, I'm sorry. So you can make some changes here. Maybe it's an applique and you have to change the frame out distance that's particular to your dinosaur, or the trimming distance. Maybe it's particular to this design, so you can change it there. what your optimizing strategy is. You can make all those changes here, make any change and select OK, and it's only going to pertain to this design. If I opened up another page and I went to Tools and Optimizer Options, I could make changes here, but it would only be for that page when I'm using it. Okay, so it doesn't, so I like that. I can change right there. I don't have to go outside the screen. I can keep everything together. Now you're saying to me, all right, so why would I do that? Why is it important? And where do I see those notes later? Are those all your questions, hopefully? So what you want to do to see them is you would go to your print function. And when your print function opens up, let me change this first of all. I'm going to put it in the center of my hoop. Just, there we go. Because I'm using the large hoop, it's going to give me all these pages that it wants me to print out. I just want to do the design. I like to choose over here which items I use. Now this is the same whether you're in PC or Mac, design only. It still keeps it at 100%, so it's still the size it should be. It just doesn't have all that extra paper there with it. And let me move my little menu over here. And then here I can add any of those things back in. So the first things I like to add are my center lines right here, which are hard to see in this blue, but this is the center. My design happens to be center hoop, so my center lines are right here. I could use this as a template. I could print it out as a template. If I wanted to add in, if I didn't want the fill areas, I could click that off and it would be a black and white design like that. So I could add in any of this information. But to see I can add my sequence icons. So down here, these are the parts of my design. And then they include your color changes as well, or you could add color changes up here. I like less is more in this case, so I don't turn that on. You could add, when you're working in the design properties, you could add a title in there as well. So my design, my information is right here. If I click on information, right down here where we can't see it is some fabric information that talks about what types. Now this is what the software gives you because of the embroidery category you've chosen. What type of fabric, what type of stabilizer, how much to use, whether it's a cutaway or a soft and sheer or similar on top stabilizer if you're going to use it. So those are just the general notes. And then my notes are right down here. But who can see that? I can't even see it when I print it out. And before we leave here, I'll show you how to fix that. But over here, you can click on this. I can send it to my printer. I can save it as a PDF or save as a JPEG. So that depends on what you're doing, what you want to do with it. I usually send it like this. If you're going to use it in, a lot of times I like it in landscape. I like it this way. I can see this a little bit better. I like to use landscape, so I change it right down here. And if I'm going to print it, I would just choose that. The other thing is if you're going to put it in a binder, let me leave it back at portrait, you can do a binder space and it moves everything over and leaves you a place to put holes in your paper. All right, so if this was going to be my template, for a template, I don't know if I would put all this in there. I would just, print it out with the design like I showed before. But this could be my worksheet that I set next to me. I could still use it as my template, but usually I trim my templates down. This is my worksheet. So let me show you how you make this bigger. I'm going to close this right now, cancel that out. So on a Mac, to change your print options, I would go up under Artistic and go to Preferences. If you're on your PC, you would go under Tools and Options. Does that make sense? So when we go back over there, I'll show you that. You'll get the same menu. It's just in different, they just put them in different place. So I'm going to go under, well, first of all, this is where you change. If you like to be in imperial or inches, you would click where it says to imperial and say okay, and then your program will be in inches for you, or imperial. Printing. In here, you can change the font of the print, and you can also change the size. Don't go super size, or you won't be able to see much of it. I like to go to a 14, and I'm going to say okay. When I go back to my print function, and I'm going to say design only, I'm going to say landscape, center lines, sequence icons, and information. Now I can read these a little bit better. Okay, I probably could go a little bit bigger on my font size, but that's where you want to change it, so you can see what's going on. I can read this a little bit better now, and I could print that out, and I would have it for my record. Or if I was working for a client, I could, instead of having this information on there, if I just wanted to send them the design, I could take all this off. I could take the center lines off, and I could send this to, I could make a PDF of it or a JPEG and send it, do an email and send it to my client that way, so they could see what's going on this design. Okay, does that make sense? I want to go back to the PC so I can show you it's the same over there. So let me get my piece back up here and go back. Let's see here, and then here. There we go. All right. So if I want to do design properties in my PC, I would go up under File, which is right at the top. There's Design Properties. There are the things I can put in it, just like that. 3 pieces to make one, can be used as a cut file. I made some notes already. Optimizer, if I made any changes, they would be in here as well. If I wanted, now before I go to the print, I can actually change that print size. And I would go under Tools, which is right up here, and Options. Same window, same window. And it says 2 metric because I've already chosen to go to inches. I'm already there. There's printing over here. I can change that. We could just go a little bit bigger. We'll go up to 16 and see what happens. And then okay. And then I can come up here. You can save that as your default as well. I just haven't done that. Because I have to show everybody how to do it. So I pretty much don't make it my default, but you can. There it is. I'm going to make it design only. I can still see it's 100% right here. It's still 100%, so it hasn't changed. I can add that information at the bottom. There it is. There's my information. If I add the sequence icons, there they are. There's only 2 things in this one. And if I wanted color changes, they're up here at the top. So I would have those. Okay, so that kind of works you through those kinds of things. Well, I know we're a little bit over, but I just want to show you a couple of things in closing that you can make some changes to, or maybe help you find a few things. So I'm going to go back over to my Mac, and you guys are so quiet. Hopefully people are out there still. Let me go to software here. There we are. All right, when I'm in here, and one of the things, that happens is over here, the properties and colors are closed for some reason. And maybe even my sequence is closed. And how do I get them? You can come in the gray area up here, whether you're on your PC or your Mac, and right-click Properties, right-click Colors. And they should come over here. If they're not on the side, you can click and drag them so they come over here. I like them to be laid on top of each other like that. The other place you can go to get them is if you go to View and Toolbars, you can turn it on there as well. Okay, so there's 2 places. Now, Properties does have a shortcut key, or if you want to use a keyboard key for that. I'm on my Mac, so I won't read you that one. But you'll see it whenever there's a shortcut key, the software shows you that. So that'll help you with that. Let me think, there was something else along here. You know, I did put in my notes a few things about the grid. So I have my grid turned off. So in view under grid, you can show it or not. And then mine's a different color because I went into my customized UI colors, and I've showed this several times. But if you're new, your thing is like probably bright red and in your face. Right down here, you have your grid major, medium, and minor. And I'm going to scroll in so you can see those up close. So my grid major are these big ones, the dark purples. My mediums are these ones in here. So these are 1 inch apart, the purple ones. The pink ones are 1/2 inch. And then these are the grid minor. These are 1/8 inch here. And you can set what you want. And once you change your colors, just click in here, move it around, and pick whatever color you want. Click off of it, click the next one, and then save it as your default. There's other things you can change. We'll cover those as we go along. And then you can save those as your defaults. If you want to turn off your grid, I think it's Shift Control G on a Mac, and it's I think it's it might be Option Command G. I always forget on my Mac because I don't use it very often. But anyways, you can turn it on and off. I usually just go up here and turn it off. And if you want to keep it off, under View at the very bottom, save current workspace as default. So it will save this, and it will always open up with a blank screen there with no grid. So I don't have to worry about closing it. So you can check there. On this page, I've set my default machine and hoop right here. So it always opens that way. Let me look at my notes really quick. I think I covered everything. Yep, I showed you the machine drop down where it's center to hoop. Let's go back here. This is where you'll find your center to hoop. If you want to change your hoop, you would just click right here. You can click way over here, but I just usually go right here. And then I just want to pick a different hoop like that, and it's highlighted outside. You always need to remember, if anything is highlighted here on this left side, you want to hit selection to turn it off, and then you just have that one there. When I come down here, you can still get the same options. You always want to click in the hoop. You don't want to do a plus. A plus adds another hoop for multi-hooping. This is multi-hooping, adding a hoop. The other thing I want to show quickly is if you wanted to see your sequences opened up, I know I have 41 parts here. I would go to Auto up here, and there would be my sequences. I can show them by color or by type. So when I do this, it should shorten them up a little bit. Yeah, so it kind of groups the colors together for me. All right, so you have to make sure you've turned on auto to see your sequence. And then when it's open, if it's too much over here, just click the arrow and it'll go away. All right, I'm going to go back to the camera, and you guys have been very quiet with no questions. So hopefully I've covered everything for you. Let me get this back on. There we go. All right, so that should get you started on being organized as you create. Now you can even bring in a purchase design if you were going to work with it. And in your notes, you could write where that purchase design came from, if you used a certain color brand with it, put that in there. So that all goes in your design properties found under file. It's a very handy, once you get used to using it, it's really, really handy to have them there instead of like having notebooks full of notes that, I forget where they are. So now they're right with my design, so I know I can keep track of them very easily. But the other part of that too is make yourself a habit. We're at the beginning of the year. This is where you start to form your habits, your good habits. And so make that folder to start to put your designs into as you're working, so you have a spot for them. And everybody can decide, you don't have to put it on your desktop like I do. You can put it right into your embroidery file or put it wherever you like, but where it's easy access. I usually say the desktop because when I teach a class, if you put it on your desktop, we can all find it. We don't have to search through your file explorer. It's a little bit harder to do that. So that's just my trick, but it's not for everyone. So, and the other thing to remember too, and we'll talk about this much later, is backing up your designs and your computer and things like that. So that's always something to think about. Sometimes the things that are on your desktop are not backed up in your computer. So make sure to find that out on your particular computer. I only temporarily put it there while I'm working, and then it gets moved to its proper place afterwards when I get done with it. All right, so I think that's it. I'm going to let everybody go. We're a little bit over time, but that's okay. It's a great way to start out the year. So thank you for joining me in 2025. I'll be back next week. I think I have, oh no, I only have one video next week, I think. So I'll be back next week. I have 2 the following week, one on Friday. So make sure you go back through the video to figure out how to sign up for all the events so you don't miss any. And we're happy to see you out there on Facebook. Have a great day, everyone. Thanks again for joining me.